going on, everyone? As planned, I was able to download the new Jay-Z album, Magna Carta, Holy Grail. I was able to do so this morning, actually. I tried last night several times, but because so many people were flooding the servers to actually download the album, it just wasn't working. I was opening up the actual app itself on my Samsung device, and it was just going to a white screen and showing a little loading, the loading icon, and just hanging there. So I tried for several hours, actually, and then I ended up looking it up online and saw that a lot of people were saying that they had broken the internet because it was basically just being flooded so much that it went down. So today I was trying again, and I tried a couple times, and on the maybe third attempt I was able to actually get the album. So I've listened to it probably about 2 or 3 times so far throughout the day. It was kind of neat. I was doing it while I was working, just had headphones in, because what's actually happened is they've kept the album directly on the app itself. So what you can see here is that you can scroll through. Let me just move it up for you. You can scroll through, and you can actually see the songs directly in this app. And it's pretty neat because you can actually click the song itself, and you can get the lyrics for it. So it's pretty neat because it allows you to actually go through and really just have a better understanding of the songs, the thought process Jay-Z was having while actually writing them, and it gives you a bit more insight into the creative process of this artist. So, I mean, it's really a neat idea, and I love the fact that Samsung did this. I love the fact that Jay-Z worked with Samsung in doing this, and he actually was able to sell 1 million albums to Samsung at $5 a pop. So mine ran Samsung $5. And all in all, the album itself is pretty good. I would put it sort of in the same ballpark as Kanye West's recent album Yeezus, in the sense that they're both a little bit digitized. They're both very creative, and they both have some lyrical skill that's actually showcased on their albums. My only complaint about this album, and I suppose it's my main complaint really, is that it's a little bit too much like Kanye's style. It's a little bit, or it's just not lyrical enough for me. It's okay in some songs, but a lot of them, such as Heaven, this one here, it reminded me too much of Kanye's I'm a God. And you know, that's from his recent album. And it just, a lot of that stuff doesn't really resonate that well with me. I'm more for the old school style of rap, the stuff that I would have experienced back in 95, 96 with Jay-Z, if I'm looking at Reasonable Doubt, Hard Knock Life, even The Blueprint was not too bad. So all these songs I find were a little bit downplayed on the digitization of, and the huge beats and the large bass and all that stuff, but the lyrics themselves just spoke to me much more than on his newer albums. So on Reasonable Doubt, and even in Hard Knock Life, I would listen to that, and it completely would just get me in, like, it would bring me right into the song. It would completely speak to me, and it would do so on more of an emotional level, say, than what I experience now with his newer album, Magna Carta, that is, and also even with Kanye's album. They don't really speak to me the same way. They're cool to listen to, they're great to work out to, say, they're great to just bop your head or even blast in the car, but when it comes to actually listening to them and truly experiencing the emotions that would have been felt while they were writing out those lyrics, while they were speaking or rapping those lyrics, or, you know, I like to think of rap as poetry in a sense. So I feel more skill from a poetic standpoint in his older work than I do in the newer stuff, and that's my main complaint of this album. So it's a great album. Of course it would be. It has a lot of great artists on it, and it has some great beats. The only problem for me is that it doesn't resonate enough with me. It doesn't speak to me enough. That's all I can really say. And if you liked Kanye's recent album Yeezus, then you would definitely like Magna Carta. I definitely recommend downloading it if you were a fan of Yeezus. So that's all I really wanted to say, and that's the review I wanted to give. It's pretty straightforward. If you were to download the album, and you're going to be getting it shortly, because it's available only to Samsung users with the Galaxy devices presently, and I believe the Note 2, I would recommend having a listen to Blue, which is actually a song about Jay-Z, his daughter, Blue Ivy, and also his relationship with his, well, lack of relationship with his father growing up, and how that's somewhat playing a role in his life now with his daughter, and his new role, or newfound role as a father for her. So that's a little bit more insight into that song, and just a little bit more in depth in terms of the lyrical quality of that song than a lot of the other ones I found on this particular album. So overall, I was pleased with it. If I was to rate the album, I would give it a 7 out of 10, and I feel that's pretty reasonable. I'm almost on the verge of dropping it to a 6, but I don't think I could do that. It's just there's too much skill involved in what's been done here, and it just wouldn't be fair. So that's all I wanted to say, and that's the review I wanted to give. If you've got the album, if you're watching this, and obviously you don't have it now, it's July 4th, Independence Day, but if you've downloaded it sometime later, let me know your thoughts on it. Let me know your review. Put it in the comment section down below or any of the other social sites, and have yourself a great Thursday. What's going on, everyone? I wanted to share some news with you.